hotel literally right next to One Jets Drive. And I was going to make this live stream more about practice, what happened yesterday. Today's the final day of training camp, but we woke up to some news that the New York Jets are reportedly looking to trade for a veteran wide receiver. Breaking Jets news. All right, so we're waking up this morning talking about some breaking Jets news. Well, there's no trade that happened, but this is definitely something that we need to talk about because this is very interesting. The New York Jets are looking into a wide receiver. Now, who is that wide receiver? Is it Terry McLaurin, which will be the biggest splash? He's the biggest name available, right? There's other guys like Alec Pierce of the Colts. There's guys like Romeo Doubs of the Green Bay Packers. I would assume the Jets would go more after the lesser guys in terms of just filling out this roster to get a veteran with Allen Lazard injured and all that. But hey, we'll talk about it right here as I will be at practice today. The weather's not super great over here in New Jersey, so hopefully practice does happen. But definitely want to get your guys' thoughts in the chat right now. Hit that thumbs up button right away because we got some breaking, reported news. So let's get straight into it. If you guys missed the report, I'll pull it up right now in case you did not see it. It is from Diana Rossini of The Athletic, and she posted this tweet literally less than, a half hour ago. And I was eating breakfast at the hotel, and I see this, and I'm like, what? Okay. All right. So Diana Rossini reports, the Jets are among several teams monitoring the trade market for a potential wide receiver. Okay. So right there is massive news. Okay. That's massive stuff. That tells you all you need to know that this Jets football team is actually trying to add players to the wide receiver position heading in to this upcoming season. And I'm not going to lie, man, shout out to the interns that's running the Roundtable Sports account because this is where I found out about this news. I log into X this morning and I see this. Roundtable Sports says the Jets are among several teams monitoring the trade market, posting the report from Diana Rossini. And I was like, is Roundtable Sports spreading fake news? Is my company spreading fake news? Because I'm like, what? Where did that report come from? And then, of course, I had no doubt that that's not fake news because my interns would never post fake news. I made sure they know that because I'm training them how to run X accounts. And then I double-checked, clicked on Diana Rossini's account, and there it is. So now, the 49ers and the Vikings are also making calls. Who is going to be the players the Jets are going to bring in? Who are the guys that they're going to be targeting? I think there's a lot of discussions you can have about this situation. This is Darren Muji's first opportunity to kind of make a splash. And it's just interesting because I've been pretty consistent with this, right? And Pat says, Bleacher Report, I just got the alert from them. I'm actually, if you guys don't know this, Pat, for anybody that has the Bleacher Report app, I'm the full-time Jets content creator on Bleacher Report, and I actually am about to make a video about this report on the Bleacher Report app. If you guys go to the Bleacher Report app and go to the Jets tab, you'll see me all over it. So just in case you did not know, I'm officially the full-time creator for the New York Jets on Bleacher Report, which is a lot of fun. So I make daily videos on there that you can't see anywhere else but Bleacher Report. And then we do post games on there. So make sure you guys check me out on Bleacher Report. I'm having a lot of fun making content for them. But this is definitely going to be an interesting situation with Allen Lazard injured and, young guys like Quentin Skinner making some plays at training camp in the preseason. There's a lot of momentum heading into the season. And you look at the wide receivers, Josh Reynolds, we know what we're getting from Josh Reynolds. There's nothing really to be excited about with Josh Reynolds. That's why I think, he's a reliable veteran that's going to pick up a few catches here and there, but nothing really to write home about. He's not going to create separation and get open. It's just a guy that you can scheme open. Lazard, we know what we're getting with Lazard. He's just Allen Lazard. I mean, that's my evaluation of Allen Lazard. I don't think you guys need me to tell you who Allen Lazard is. We all know who he is at this point as a Jets receiver. Tyler Johnson is an interesting one because he is, a young veteran who's trying to make himself, in this league still. And then we got all the young guys. Arian Smith, who's definitely making some steps in the right direction. And then Brandon Smith has been looking really good in training camp as well. And then we got, the young guys. Malachi Corley, you can kiss him goodbye. I mean, I'll be shocked if he makes a team unless he's a special teamer. I don't know. And then Quentin Skinner has been the undrafted free agent hero. Every single year, the Jets have at least one undrafted free agent wide receiver that everybody falls in love with. And this year, it's Quentin Skinner. So let's start off with Terry McLaurin, bro, because I feel like Terry McLaurin is the guy that everybody, wants. Right when you see this report, everyone's like, "Oh, Terry." But is it realistic? Right? I think that's the first question. Is it realistic to go after Terry McLaurin right now? Does it fit the timeline of the Jets? Would it be smart for the New York Jets? Terry McLaurin's available. Someone in the chat asked, who's available? Anyone. Terry McLaurin is the one that is available. Now, the thing is, the Jets just extended Garrett Wilson. But the thing is, with the Garrett Wilson extension, his money does not kick in until like 2 years from now. So if the Jets really want to make a splash and they could figure out a way to bring in Terry and sign him to like a two-year extension, because that's the weird thing about Terry McLaurin is he's up there in age, man. He's up there in age. But I think Jets fans always remind ourselves, well, Brandon Marshall was also up there in age and had one of the best seasons in Jets history at wide receiver. 109 catches, 1,500 yards. He was like 31 years old. This is the monster. And Terry's coming off a really good season. And he's upset. He wants to get paid. So if you trade for a guy like Terry, it's a little bit more complicated because you're not just trading for him. You also have to pay him. And the Jets just paid Garrett Wilson. Are they going to get all these Buckeye players? Ohio State connection, Garrett Wilson, Terry, 2 Ohio State wide receivers, Ohio State quarterback. Hey, we shall see. I just don't know about the extension, man, because if you can get Terry McLaurin in the building and give him like a 2 or 3 year extension where the money doesn't really kick in until Garrett Wilson's contract kicks in, and then you have a number 1, number 2 with Garrett and Terry for these next few years, I think that will be awesome. Terry is the best wide receiver available for the New York Jets, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be hard for the New York Jets to pull that one off. Absolutely, really hard. Now, there's other guys that the Jets can trade for. That's not just Terry McLaurin. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Romeo Doubs from the Green Bay Packers, Alec Pierce from the Colts. A little less exciting, but I think anybody can, come in here and be that guy. I just don't know if Terry's realistic. That's my whole sentiment on it. I look at the Terry McLaurin situation, and I just don't know if it's something that the Jets can absolutely pull off. They're going to have to, part away with capital from next year. Do the Jets want to give up capital when they're trying to build a team for the future? Because let's be honest, this Jets team, I mean, what's our expectations as Jets fans? Last year, expectations were sky high. This is the year. AFC East champions potentially. Let's go on a deep playoff run. Let's make the wild card. Those were the expectations for the New York Jets from the fan base. Expectations this year is not like that. Expectations for this season is unknown. I mean, everyone has their own expectations. Every Jets fan, it differs. Like one Jets fan's like, we're going to win 2 games. We're the same old Jets. We stink. And then another Jets fan will say, well, I don't know. We have a good coach now, and Fields could be the guy. Maybe we can win 10 games. I don't know. This year is going to be a big, giant unknown. But if they go after Terry, it's going to be an intriguing player because if you look at the way this Jets offense is constructed, it's all about running the football. And you saw that against the Giants in the preseason where they're going to prioritize that run. And obviously they're realizing that the pass attack is not as up to par where they want. They don't really have a lot of weapons down the field that can create separation. And Garrett Wilson's going to get double teamed. Garrett Wilson is going to be that guy that's going to get bracketed. He's going to get doubled, and that's going to open up one-on-ones for the other receivers, guys like guys like Reynolds, Johnson, Smith. Those guys are going to be able to get one-on-one opportunities, but will they absolutely take advantage of it? We shall see. But folks, smash that thumbs up button right away. And good morning to everybody. It's Wednesday, August 20th. I'm reporting to you live from a hotel literally right next to One Jets Drive. And by the way, I am literally in the same hotel right now as all the Jets players and Aaron Glenn. I don't think they're here right now. They're probably at the facility, but they stay here. I actually ran into Jarius Monroe last night. He was packing up his car, and I was like, yo, you need some help? And then I ran into Leonard Taylor as well. Who else did I see? I saw Dean Clark walking around, and I was talking to some of the people in the hotel, and they're like, yeah, man, like I always bring up room service to Coach Glenn here. So I'm at the Jets hotel right now, which is cool. But I'm not that guy that's going to bother anybody when they're walking around and like be like, yo, what's up, man? No, that's not who I am. I just say, what up? Let them walk by. Sometimes if the energy feels right, I'll talk to them and, have a normal human conversation. So it's cool to be here. And the Jets training camp, today is the final day of camp, by the way. Today is the final day of camp, and the weather's not looking great. I'm wondering if they're going to cancel practice. I really hope they don't. But hey, they may cancel practice today, which would be not ideal because your boy came all the way over here to see the New York Jets at training camp back-to-back days. All right. Now, there's a lot of receivers that I'm seeing Jets fans are saying on X in terms of what receiver you're interested in. I'm seeing Chris Olave's name get thrown around. I don't know if he's available, but the Saints, hey, maybe they will. Maybe they will. Amari Cooper, no thank you. Brandon Ayuk, I don't know if he's on the block, right? What other receivers are you guys mentioning? Christian Kirk? See, like, I don't know about you guys, but if the Jets trade for receiver, I don't want it to be some, like, old dude that's just, like, not going to move the needle. Like, it has to be something, bro. Has to be something. So you guys let me know everything you need to know right now in the live chat. What receiver do you want the New York Jets to go after? Because we have some breaking, like, Jets news this morning about this situation. Love to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. If you did not already, hit the thumbs up button right away, folks, as we are waking up this morning on a Wednesday. And we did have some news that came out from Aaron Glenn himself, mentioning that the New York Jets will not be playing their starters on Friday night. So no Justin Fields, no starters on Friday night. So that's going to be interesting. We can't afford to cancel practice. So if they canceled practice today, it would not be canceled for the team. It'd be canceled for us fans. They would just go inside the building because they have a whole practice field in the building where they would practice. So basically, if they canceled practice, us fans would not be able to go, but they will still practice inside the building, just so you guys are aware how that works. Jennings or Cooper or McLaurin, I'm okay with Amari Cooper, bro. What did Amari Cooper do on the Bills last year? He was hurt and did nothing. I mean, if you can't do anything with Josh Allen as your quarterback, I'm good. I don't want like some aging dude that's just sitting there doing nothing, bro. Feel me? Rich, I'm a Bills fan, but I stop in from time to time. You do great work, man. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me know what fan base you are representing in the live chat. Do we have majority Jets fans? What other Jets fans do we got? What QB2, Richie? Who will we snag on? I don't think we're going to snag a quarterback. And a lot of people have been asking me, hey, Richie, what's your thoughts of Brady Cook? A lot of Jets fans, and dude, I don't know if this guy's watching right now, but I was walking off the practice field yesterday, and I saw someone come up to me. He's like, yo, he pointed to Brady Cook. That guy's going to be the quarterback week 3. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what do you mean Cook's going to be the quarterback week 3? He's like, yeah, Fields is going to get popped and he's going to get hurt. I'm like, why would you say that? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Why would you? He's like, I don't know, man. Cook is better than Fields. He's like going at it with me. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? I was like, I totally disagree, but I'm not going to get into a debate with you about this right now. But hey, everybody is everyone's allowed to have their feelings. Everyone's allowed to have their opinions. But Brady Cook does look good. He had a really good practice yesterday, and we're going to have them all like be on full display Friday night. So we're going to have Brady Cook and Adrian Martinez. I'm assuming one quarterback is going to start for the first half. The next quarterback is going to play the entire second half. Justin Fields is not going to play. Tyrod Taylor is still injured. So we're just going to have 2 quarterbacks active for the last preseason game. And the last preseason game is going to be all about evaluating the guys that are trying to make the roster. That's really what it comes down to, in my opinion. So we shall see. We shall see. So the breaking news that you guys are seeing, if you guys are just tuning into the show for the first time this morning, Diana Rossini of The Athletic reported that the Jets are among several teams monitoring the trade market for potential wide receiver additions. So this is definitely something that is opening up the floodgates of Jets fans across the world saying, what? We're going after a receiver? Oh, my goodness. We're going after a receiver. How about that? And, I thought that the Jets were not going to do this because, I don't know. I felt like there wasn't really a perfect fit out there unless they feel like their trade package is attractive to the Washington Commanders. You never know. You never know. Another way that the Jets can go after a wide receiver is in the waiver wire claim. Remember, they acquired Braxton Berrios, I believe, in the waiver wire, and he was a solid Jet for a few years before he fell off the face of the earth. And you never know. You can definitely add some talent in the waiver wire. We're going to see Darren Muji's first opportunity doing just that. And I got to meet Darren Muji. He was very quick. He was walking off the field, and he was walking right by me. And I stopped, and I'm like, hey, Muj. And he's like, what's up, man? And he's like, mind taking a photo? And here he is. Very nice man. Took the time. He's like, yeah, real quick. I wanted to kind of chop it up with him. Be like, yo, Muj, so what's good? I'll kind of ask him some questions. Be like, hey, come on, Jets media. Let's talk it up. But he was in a rush, of course. So we shall see about that. But this is Darren Muji's time to shine. This is his opportunity to kind of put his fingerprints on this football team. If he goes out there and makes a trade, that is going to be pretty massive for it. A lot of people are going to read into the New York Jets a little bit deeper if they go after a guy like Terry McLaurin. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you never put on your way into the show, man. We have a lot of people tuning in right now on Jets Media, and I appreciate you guys big time tuning in this morning. 54 likes. We can do way better than that. All right, way better than that. We're waking up on a Wednesday. I'm here in New Jersey for you guys. We're going to need the like button smash. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat as we have a report to talk about from Diana Rossini that the New York Jets are going after a receiver. If you feel like there is a receiver that I am not mentioning, please let me know in the chat. I would love to hear what you guys have to say, right? I would love to hear if there's any receiver you guys have to say. Polk or Javon Baker are cheap and might get cut, but they've done nothing. Yeah, they have done nothing. Apparently, Javon Baker and Polk are busts for the Patriots, and they need receiver help. So if they can't make the Patriots receiver room, I mean, what are we doing? The Patriots got nobody at receiver outside of Diggs, and I know they got some other players that are making some plays, but I don't know. Seems like everybody wants Terry. Terry. What receiver would want to come to this very run-heavy offense? Great point, because this is going to be a very run-heavy offense. Did you guys see what Aaron Glenn said at the press conference yesterday? Oh, my God. He absolutely loved Aaron Glenn. Somebody said, a reporter asked Aaron Glenn something along the lines of, how is your pass attack looking? And then the reporter's like, obviously it is a pass-heavy league today. And then Aaron Glenn stopped and was like, who said it's a pass-happy league? And the reporter's like, oh, you don't think it's a pass-happy league? And then Aaron Glenn's like, who won the Super Bowl last year? The Eagles. Where were they ranked? 29th in passing last year, the Philadelphia Eagles, and first in running. And that right there kind of, I'm not going to lie, let me spark some delusion in my brain when I heard Aaron Glenn say that, because he's right. Now, the Jets are not the Eagles, but the Eagles proved last year that you can absolutely win a Super Bowl with an elite run game and elite defense. So if the Jets really want to go after that mindset, now the Eagles, they also have a lot of weapons at receiver that the Jets don't have. They have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Now, Garrett Wilson is on the Jets, but we're missing that number 2 next to him. If you go after Terry, then you look at the Jets offense compared to the Eagles offense. Now, we don't have a Saquon Barkley or an offensive line as established as the Eagles. I think we have an offensive line that could become something along those lines if it develops into a way that we're hoping for. But, if you really want to compare the Jets to the Eagles, and the reason why I'm doing that is just because of Aaron Glenn bringing that up in the press conference yesterday. If we could be and another big thing here is the quarterback. Jalen Hurts isn't even like Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl and nobody's talking about Jalen Hurts as a top tier quarterback. And why? It's because he has Saquon Barkley. He has an elite offensive line. He doesn't have to do much. That's what people say. I kind of disagree. I think Jalen Hurts deserves a little bit more credit. The guy won Super Bowl MVP, pushed the ball down the field. I think if there was a quarterback in this league that Justin Fields needs to study, it is Jalen Hurts. Because that is exactly what Justin Fields needs to do. Now, they're different from the mobility element of the game. Hurts is more of a power downhill runner of the football. Justin Fields is more speed. It can definitely beat you and juke you out and do all those fun things. But Jalen Hurts is a really good example of what, and the Eagles is a good philosophy that I think Aaron Glenn's trying to implement here. And I say that because the Lions are the team that the Jets are trying to replicate, but it's a different system when you have Jared Goff as your quarterback. Jared Goff is your pure pocket passer, amazing with rhythm and timing. And that is exactly what Fields struggles with, is timing, getting the ball out on time. So that's where I'm like, if you would compare which system do you want, I think it's going to be a perfect merge, a perfect merge. All right. And no, I am not comparing. Here comes Glenn. You can't even compose Fields to Hurts. I'm not comparing the two. All I'm saying is if there was a quarterback that you want, that you want Justin Fields to kind of become this year for the Jets, it's Jalen Hurts. We don't need Fields to be MVP, top 10 in the league in order to win. We need Fields to be smart with the football, take what the defense gives you, which Jalen Hurts does tremendously, and pick up yards with your legs and play point guard and hand the ball off. That's what Jalen Hurts does so well. He protects the football. He takes the shots down the field when it opens up because the run game, you look at the Eagles, man, they're such a threat at running the football where defenses are so obsessed with trying to stop the run. And then when they try to do that, that's when Hurts takes his shot down the field. That's what the Jets need to do. Starts with running the football with Brees and Braylon Allen and Fields' legs. So the defenses try to really stop the run. That's when the Jets can open up the playbook and take shots down the field to the speedster Arian Smith. Take shots down the field to Garrett Wilson. Open up the middle of the field for Mason Taylor. That's what the Jets are trying to do, which is why you look at the Jets going after a potential addition at wide receiver. Hey, man, that's something that you can definitely see. You can definitely see that happening. So we'll see, man. And Jalen Hurts also took a while to figure himself out with the Eagles. He did not look good his first few years with Philadelphia. We shall see. So now we have some people saying that young, undeveloped Lamar is Fields. So yeah, I would say Justin Fields is closer to Lamar just from running. But listen, I don't want to make it seem like, yeah, dude, Justin Fields is just as good as Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP, just as good as Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. It's absolutely not the case. Fields has not proved himself. But you look at Lamar Jackson early in his career with the Ravens. You look at Jalen Hurts early in his career with the Eagles. Both organizations did a tremendous job developing those guys. Now, I wonder if the Eagles drafted Justin Fields or if the Ravens drafted Justin Fields, I wonder if Fields would be their guy still. Because the Bears are notorious for drafting and ruining quarterbacks, just like our New York Jets. Baltimore Ravens, very good organization. Always have been. Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles, they know how to draft and develop quarterbacks. And I don't think people put that much stock into organizations that know what they're doing. And it's really about system and coaching and playmakers and all that. All the things need to work around it. And I really hope people realize that Justin Fields this season, it's not all on his shoulders. He needs help. He needs the support system around him. He needs the scheme to work. He needs his receivers to catch the ball. He needs his receivers to get open. He needs the offensive line to protect him. He needs the offensive line to open up lanes in the run game. He needs his running backs to make plays. It's not only on the quarterback in this specific offense. Of course, the quarterback is the most important position in football. And Fields, it's going to come on his shoulders. But the philosophy of this football team is try to get a lead early so you can just run the football and play defense. And we'll see if that happens. I'm not too sure. But it's going to be fun to see this team go out there and play with this overall roster, because you look at the offense in totality on paper, like the biggest weakness is receiver next to Garrett Wilson. And now we're seeing the Jets be in the market for a new receiver addition, which I think is very, very interesting. So you guys let me know who you want the New York Jets to bring in at receiver. Terry McLaurin is the popular name that I'm seeing everybody talk about. So you guys let me know, is that somebody you want the Jets to go after? And if you're just tuning into the show for the first time this morning and you missed the report, there is a report that surfaced this morning that is all about the New York Jets being among several teams interested in trading for a wide receiver. I'm seeing DJ Moore's name in the chat. I don't see the Bears trading him at all. You got to be realistic with these, man. I mean, you never know. You know, Ant-Man says, what receivers are on the trade market? Terry McLaurin is the biggest name on the market. That's kind of the only one. But the lesser guys are guys like Romeo Doubs of the Packers, who could be a sleeper, but he's just like, gets injured a lot and he's reliable. I think Romeo Doubs, if there was someone that's more realistic, it's definitely him. Chris Olave, if the Saints are open for business, you absolutely make that call. But I don't know. The Saints are in a weird spot as an organization, right? They have Rashid, I don't know if that's going to happen. I saw the clip with Fields throwing deep to Wilson, so I don't doubt his ability to throw vertically, but doing it consistently is a big question mark. Yeah, so when it comes to Justin Fields' ability to throw the football, I think a lot of people get confused or they don't really add context to Justin Fields' throwing abilities. Justin Fields' issue that he needs to work on, that he's had since he came in the league at throwing the football, it's not so much like accuracy and fundamentals and like footwork. It's more timing. And timing is everything as a quarterback, getting the ball out on time. Because if you're a half second too late, and that's something that like timing comes with mental reps where 1, 2 balls out. Like you need to find the timing. And that's how you get on the same page with your receivers. That is a big issue that Justin Fields has had in terms of holding on the ball too long. And holding on the ball too long leads to sometimes good plays because he can scramble around the pocket, pick up yards with his legs. But we need to figure out a way where Fields gets the ball out fast. And a perfect example, and this is the preseason, can't evaluate it too much, but you guys saw what the Giants did with Jackson Dart against the Jets. Dart passed the Brock within the first 2 seconds. And that's how you get a quarterback in rhythm. That's exactly how you do it. You just get the ball out of your hands and you play point guard. And I heard Aaron Glenn say that when he was mic'd up at practice, that just got to play point guard. And what does that mean as a quarterback? What does that mean to play point guard? All that means is get the ball out of your hands fast and get the ball in your playmakers' hands and let them go make plays. Just like in basketball, when you're a point guard, you got to be the floor general. You got to get your teammates involved. You got to set them up for easy baskets. Point guard in terms of a quarterback in football, you got to set up your wide receivers, set up your playmakers so they can go out there and make some plays. Get the ball in their hands so they can pick up yards after the catch. And that's all Fields needs to do. Take what the defense gives you. When an explosive play is there, you be aggressive and you take it. All right? And that's what the Jets are trying to do. Someone in the chat says Justin is not a point guard. All I'm saying is that's what Aaron Glenn and this coaching staff is trying to make him. I'm not saying he's a point guard. That's Aaron Glenn's words. I would not have said the word point guard if I didn't hear it from Aaron Glenn's mouth himself. Right? That's something that the Jets are trying to create with Justin Fields, is getting the ball out fast, processing the field with efficiency, knowing where the ball needs to go. Let's go. And, Justin Fields does got an arm, man. He does got an arm, but he's got to learn how to use it. Why not Gabe Davis? He just had a second visit with Pittsburgh. It doesn't look like they will be signing him. My question with Gabe Davis is, why is he still not signed? I mean, he's visiting all these teams, and nobody wants to sign the guy. So there has to be something going on with him. Whether it's an injury or he looks a step slow in these visits or they're doing workouts and they're like, yeah, I don't know. Like Gabe Davis, I think, is a perfect example. And he's like not old, too. I think he's like 26. So if the Jets want to bring in someone for free, and when I say free, I mean not having to trade for anybody, Gabe Davis is definitely someone to look into. Right? Think about how Geno was with the Jets. Most of you ran him out of town with pitchforks. The right coach and system can make a difference 100 million%. The right coach and system absolutely can make a difference. Look what Sam Darnold did last year with the Vikings. They won 14 games with Sam Darnold at quarterback. Yeah, Sam deserves a lot of credit, of course, but look at the receivers he had. Look at the system he had. Look at the coaching staff that he had. It's so important. And the Jets are trying to be that team this year or try to be that team eventually where we have a system and we have the ability to develop quarterbacks. I mean, Jets fans at this point were like, yeah, we don't have any optimism of developing any quarterbacks. What about Cooper? I'm so out on Amari Cooper. Like, if the Jets sign Amari Cooper, I'm just like, all right. I mean, what did Amari Cooper do last year with the Bills? He went to the Bills and it was like, oh, that's a big addition. And he did nothing with Josh Allen at quarterback. What is he going to do with Fields at quarterback? You feel me? Right? We'll see, man. Chuck has become a new member of Jets Media. Shout out to Chuck, everybody. Big shout out to Chuck for becoming a new member of the Jets Media family. Shout out to Chuck, my friend. Appreciate you as always. Let's do it. Now, we ran Zach out of town. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. I wanted the Jets to keep Sam Darnold and not draft a quarterback that year. Just saying. Just bringing that up. But, hey, it is what it is. Now Zach Wilson's over in Miami. Zach Wilson is going to get his chance in Miami this year, bro. And that's not me hating on Miami and Tua, but Tua has an injury problem. I think there's going to be a world where Zach plays, and I'm really curious to see what he looks like. But Zach Wilson, bro, I mean, the perfect example of a guy that just makes everything look so hard. He makes this crazy throw, Zach Wilson, where he throws a rocket down the field on the run. You're like, dude, this guy's great. And then he misses a screen pass. And you're like, and then he runs backwards and takes a 15-yard sack. I mean, yeah, the Zach Wilson experiment, goodbye. Goodbye. Darnold, Geno, and Fields were all ballers in college. Absolutely. And Zach Wilson wasn't. Well, Justin Fields was also a baller in high school. He was the number one high school recruit. I remember he was ranked the number one high school player in the country at one point. He was a baller at Ohio State. And the Jets are going to try to unlock that version of him. Obviously not easy. High school and college, completely different levels in the NFL. But we'll see. We'll see, man. Look, we even have a Dolphins fan chiming in about that. Quinn Ewers looks more comfortable in the pocket than Zach Wilson. Yeah, there you go. Trade for Drake London. That would be nice. Yeah, why don't we trade for one of the most underrated receivers in the league? No, that's not happening. Drake London, I think, is the most underrated receiver in the NFL. I mean, he had the quietest 1,000-yard, like, really good season last year. Just saying. If you're into fantasy football, I would go after Drake London. He's someone that's, I think, going to have a really good season. All right. Come on. Nothing good comes out of Ohio State quarterbacks. So CJ Stroud had a really good rookie year, and then he had a sophomore slump. Ohio State's still trying to figure himself out with Justin Fields. I don't know. I never really bought into the narrative of like certain quarterbacks from certain schools don't translate. But hey, Ohio State produces wide receivers. That's for sure. That is for sure. Trade for Devontae Adams. There it is. Remember that era last year? Fields' throwing motion and not so quick decision-making will make him never play like that college player he was again, different sport. Yeah, I mean, Fields does not have a quick release. I'm noticing that he definitely like has that like load up where the ball doesn't come out like quick, and his slow mental processing on the field is definitely not great. So I can hear that, but we'll see. Let's go. Richie, you mentioned a lot of the Jets stay in that hotel. Why would they not pick their place of residence close to the practice facility? I'm right next to the practice facility. I'm walking distance. You can like see it out the window. I'm right next to One Jets Drive, and this hotel is right there. Yeah, that's why I picked this hotel, because it's right next to the facility. I can literally walk there when practice starts. All the Jets stay here. I saw all the Jets walking around the hotel today and yesterday. But yeah, I saw Neil Johnson walk in the lobby. I saw Darius Monroe, Leonard Taylor, all those guys. And I was talking to people that work at the hotel. And they're like, yeah, man, all these players, they come in here and then we have to say goodbye to them when they get cut. It's sad. I was like, man, it's pretty sad. That's pretty terrible. Right? Christian Kirk. Is that somebody you guys would want, Christian Kirk? I don't know. Do you guys want Christian Kirk? Where even is Christian Kirk even somebody that could be traded? In terms of like, he fell off. He signed that large contract with Jacksonville and then he just fell off. I mean, why would the Texans want to trade him? Right? I don't think that he would be on the trade block. You got Nico Collins as your number one. I know they drafted 2 receivers, but I don't know. No thank you on Amari Cooper for the millionth time. Courtland Sutton just signed a massive contract extension with Denver, so he's not going anywhere either. He's not going anywhere. DJ Moore, I'm seeing his name get brought up a lot. I mean, am I missing something where the Bears would want to trade him? And what does his contract look like? Because the Bears, I would assume, would want to keep him. Oh, dude, DJ Moore's contract is not something the Jets are going to want to put on their books. DJ Moore had signed a contract extension with the Bears that expires in 2029. He's getting paid. I mean, it's actually not a terrible contract, but it's a long-term. It's a long-term deal. He got an extension that goes into 2029 with an out in 2028. 4-year, $110 million. The Bears have a lot of weapons, but why would they want to give up one of their best weapons? LaSalle, what's good, bro? What wide receiver would you want? Also, 17 months. That's crazy, LaSalle. 17 months of being a member of Jets Media is pretty awesome. So shout out to my boy LaSalle. Always showing some love and support on Jets Media. I mean, I want to shoot for the stars for Terry, but I think that's a little unrealistic. I think Romeo Doubs makes more sense. Cooper is past his prime. Way past his prime. I'm good on Amari Cooper. Why no Cooper? Because Amari Cooper went to the Bills last year and looked like a shell of himself. And my perspective, if you can't look good on a team like the Buffalo Bills, who barely have receivers, no offense, but they still play well. It's no disrespect to the Bills. And they have an MVP level quarterback. I don't know. I mean, let's be honest. The Amari Cooper situation, it's real. Like, that could happen. There was actually reports that the Jets could go after Amari Cooper. I'm not going to sit here and, like, if the Jets sign him, be upset. But I don't know. A veteran like him, you can definitely convince me would be okay. You know, he's 31 years old. He's coming off a season with the Bills, getting traded from the Browns to the Bills. And, you know, he hasn't really had a successful year. He's a year removed from injury. I don't know. Maybe he does have some juice left in his tank, but I don't know. He's still unsigned for a reason. That's how I look at it, too. George Pickens and the Cowboys wouldn't mind a running back. All right, let's trade for Micah Parsons. Wait until the roster cuts. That's a smart move. Yeah, I think the roster cuts is going to be an interesting spot because that's when the Jets can absolutely potentially bring in a guy that is cut on the waiver wire, right? Even McLaurin is getting close to 30. Yes, he is. He is up there in age, but he's coming off a very successful season. Cooper is the answer. We just need a guy that can take some of the double teams away from G5. He's a respected wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, Amari Cooper is definitely a guy that could be impactful. We'll see if he's becoming a Jet. Jalen Hyatt, nah, I mean, we don't want like a young guy that's very unproven. What up, Chino? I think Lazard is out. Lazard is hurt right now, so that's not helping him out. If you can't be successful with Josh Allen, how do you think you'll do with Fields? Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. Waddle. Imagine that. Brees in a second for DJ Moore and a fourth. Now, I don't want to give up Brees in this situation, but we need a true number 2 receiver. I don't think we'd find that on the waiver wire, but maybe. Yeah, I mean, we don't really have that number 2 receiver, but we are looking for the Jets to completely open this up. Tyreek Hill is not happening, folks. But yeah, if you're just tuning into the show for the first time this morning, folks, we did have some breaking news that the New York Jets are one of the teams interested in trading for a wide receiver. And I think that's important to note because the Jets could easily make a splash out of nowhere right before the season begins. Right before the season begins, we can be going after a receiver? Okay. All right. We'll see about that one. I think there's a lot of interesting names. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button on your way into the show, folks. We appreciate you guys big time tuning on in. Don't forget to smash the like button. Let's do it. We got our first super chat of today's show. Jers the Wolf says Jacoby Myers or Alec Pierce are legit wide receiver 2. I think that Jacoby Myers is interesting. I don't know if he's going to be available for the trade block, but Alec Pierce is an interesting one. I think that he's like a reliable guy that could go out there, make some plays for the Jets downhill. You know, the Colts just officially announced Daniel Jones to be their quarterback 1. But Jacoby Myers is a guy. I don't know if he's available, though. I don't know if the Raiders, he's still in the Raiders, right? With the new system, Geno they don't want to get rid of that guy. You know, it's tough because if you're a team, why would you want to trade a receiver away? The only team that I can see that's realistic of trading a receiver away is the Commanders because they have a whole situation going on where he wants out and you're not paying me, I want out. That makes sense. JT, member for 20 months. Wow. 20 months, almost 2 years. My boy JT, I appreciate you. Alec Pierce or Dobbs, Packers can offload 1. Yeah. 100%. Is Alec Pierce on the Packers now? No, Alec Pierce is on the Colts. But yeah, I think that Alec Pierce or Dobbs is the most realistic of them all. 100%. JT, I appreciate the love, my guy, as always. Thoughts on snagging Jalen Polk from the Patriots? Yeah, this is how I look at it. I mean, the Patriots have no receivers, but they got guys like Jalen Polk or Javon Baker who are potentially going to get cut. I mean, that doesn't really tell you much about them. Maybe they just don't get along with that organization and they just need a new home. We'll see. Richie, I would love to get McLaurin because of that Ohio State ties with Wilson and Fields. Yeah, I mean, that's the splash. That's that splash that we would all want. I mean, bring home Terry. We could bring home Terry. I'd be down for it, but what's the price? What's the contract that he wants? It's a little bit more complicated than some people may think, but it's going to be interesting to see if that actually happens. Glenn asks, don't you have Lazard as number 2 Technically, I would say Josh Reynolds is number 2 right now. And then Lazard is like 3 or 4. But I think that Arian Smith's development has been a joy to watch. And also Quentin Skinner, our undrafted free agent wide receiver, 6'5", had that one-handed catch for the touchdown. I want him to make the team. He's gonna be on full display Friday night as well. That's what we're talking about. Trade for Justin Jefferson. Let's get going here. It's a joke, folks. I know he was joking too. I personally wouldn't oppose Jahan Dotson. That's an interesting name. You can take Elijah Moore from us, Richie. He's looking rough so far. Man, I swear, every team that gets Elijah Moore, the fan base hypes him up in the offseason. They're like, oh, he was just on a bad team. And now they're seeing the real Elijah Moore. I was a big fan of Elijah Moore on the Jets, but he just has not done anything. Nobody in this fan base wants Elijah Moore back. That's all I'm going to say. No. No. Tyreek? Jets almost got Tyreek 2 seasons ago, but he chose the Dolphins. Yeah, the Jets almost getting Tyreek was a different regime. So this regime probably does not have the same interest. That was Joe Douglas. Only thing, Richie, about Skinner, he's got to get a new number. 39 is not going to work for a receiver. How could you root for that? But I like Skinner a lot. Yeah, it's because he's an undrafted free agent. If, hypothetically, he makes the team, he's going to get a new number. 100%. He's going to get it like 87 or something like that. Take Brandon Smith's number. He's not going to be 39. That's usually how it works. If you're an undrafted free agent, you have to go get on this field and, there was no numbers available for him to have. Like all the 80s are taken, all the teens are taken, all the single digits are taken because you have so many people on the roster. When you're an undrafted free agent, you don't really have a lot of numbers to choose. So he was stuck with the 30s. He picked 39. If he makes this team, he's not going to wear number 39. Chosen going to get cut from San Francisco, and he should stay away from the Jets. Chosen Anderson is not coming back here. We really just need an average, respectful receiver opposite Wilson to take a little pressure off our number 1. I mean, Reynolds could be that. Like, he's average. He can make plays, but he's not a threat. He's not a threat. Waddle, once the Dolphins implode, I don't think the Dolphins would trade him to us. That's the thing. How much does having a better receiver even matter? I feel like in the league, any good quarterback can make them all look good. Yeah, I mean, that's good, but we have Justin Fields at quarterback. We don't have a quarterback that is proven to like level up guys. So you got to keep that in mind. If the Jets trade for a receiver, who goes? Skinner or Brandon? Who goes where? Gets cut or goes where? In the trade? Or what are you talking about? Because you look at the Jets receiver room right now, Garrett Wilson making the team, obviously. Josh Reynolds, Tyler Johnson, Alan Lazard, Arian Smith. I think those 5 are the locks to make the team at that position. And then after that, you're looking at guys like Brandon Smith trying to make the team, Malachi Corley trying to make the team. You're looking at guys like Quentin Skinner making the team, Xavier Gibson making the team. Those are a lot of guys. So the Jets have a very interesting spot here. And it's funny because you look at the Jets receiver room and you're like, it sucks. But then you realize, wait, they got a lot of guys they got to choose between. And yeah, Nicholas says Tyler Johnson I like a lot. He's a sleeper. I think Tyler Johnson is a very big sleeper. Now, he's not a guy that's going to be a threat that's going to be like 100 yards a game and put up monster numbers. But Tyler Johnson is a reliable young veteran that I like. 25 years old, has some speed, can get open over the middle, decent route running, has reliable hands. I like Tyler Johnson. I think that was an underrated free agent signing. And then you got Reynolds, of course, who's just that veteran of the group. And then Quentin Skinner is underrated at the wide receiver position. Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I think Quentin Skinner has become that Jets fan favorite, 6'5". Hey, if you're 6'5" and you can make some plays the way that he's been doing, I mean, you saw that diving catch he made, right? I mean, the diving catch he made in the end zone, that was not the greatest throw in the world from was it Cook or Martinez that threw that touchdown? And he went out there and one-handed, like the catch radius is unbelievable. He's long, tall, got some speed at that size. Yes, sir. JSN, why would the Seahawks trade him? We got to be realistic, folks. We got to be realistic. Michael Pittman, why would the Colts trade him? Can we get rid of Lazard? Yeah, he's hurt right now. I think there's a chance that he doesn't even start the season healthy. By the way, he could be our Olave. Now, I would slow down on that. We got to wait. I mean, Olave was a first-round pick. Corley is worse than Stephen Hill. He is. Stephen Hill actually made some type of Stephen Hill actually had made some plays. But Malachi Corley, dude, fumbling at the 1-yard line was just the kiss of death last year for him. I would honestly take Skinner over Lazard. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys heard Aaron Glenn. I'm going to try to find it for you guys. But Aaron Glenn was asked by Brian Kaz, how do you evaluate the quarterback? Or I'm sorry, not the quarterback. How do you evaluate the age situation where you have a guy that's older that you kind of know what you're getting, and a guy that's younger that has upside, which player you're taking? And Aaron Glenn's like, I'm taking the best player. I'm taking the best player. And I think that tells you all you need to know. Aaron Glenn does not really look at he doesn't really look at the age. He's saying, I want the best player, okay? I want the best player. So I'm going to try to find, I think this is it. Yeah, here it is. I found it. So this is Brian Kaz asking him about, philosophically, how do you evaluate players with their age?
With the roster decisions you guys have to make, just not talking specific guys, but philosophically, how do you weigh the veteran guy? You kind of know what you're getting from him, or maybe the ceiling isn't high, versus the younger guy who probably going to be some inconsistencies, but the ceiling might be higher. How do you weigh those decisions?
Give me the best player.
But what if the best player right now?
Give me the best player, and the tape tells me everything I need to know, and then the character tells me everything I need to know. We wipe the slate clean, and we are a team that's going to get the best player. I don't care where you come from. I don't care how much money you make. I want the best player. To me, that's what the best teams are.
I want the best player. So that right there tells you, if he looks at the film and says Quentin Skinner or Alan Lazard, and he thinks Skinner is the better football player today, make that move. Make that move, AG. Make it. Now, since we're talking about Aaron Glenn, I have to show you guys this interaction he had in the press conference yesterday because this was awesome. Now, we talked about it earlier on in the show. So somebody asked about, your pass attack for the Jets offense, it's not looking too good. And this league is a pass-heavy league. It's a pass-friendly league. And Aaron Glenn quickly was like, who says it's a pass-heavy league? And then I love that Aaron Glenn tests the media where he corrects them. He's like, what you're saying is wrong. I know football, you don't. That's basically what his energy is. But this is his philosophy. And we talked about this in the beginning area of the show when we started talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. We talked about the Eagles a lot because of this question and answer right here from Mr. Aaron Glenn himself. Take a listen.
Speaking of the physicality aspect, and obviously it's clear you guys want to run the ball.
Say it again.
Just speaking of that physicality aspect you're talking about, it's clear you guys want to run the ball.
Yep.
That's going to be, very much part of your DNA. Obviously, it's very much a passing league. Is there any concern about your ability to go downfield and whatnot?
Who says it's a passing league?
Isn't it a passing league? Isn't that kind of...
The team that won the Super Bowl, what were they in passing? 29.
Yeah.
What were they in running? First.
Defense, too, obviously. But...
Well, We talked about offense.
Do you have any? I mean, it's hard for us to see in preseason games and practice. With the body of work is kind of nobody knows what you guys are doing, like today's situation and stuff. But where do you fall in terms of your confidence in getting the ball downfield and pass?
Very confident, because that's what practice is for. I mean, you have so many people that want to talk about a small amount of plays these guys get to go out there and play, and then everything is falling down because we throw 6 passes. Then I mean, he's Johnny Unitas when we throw 4 passes. So it bothers me, and I laugh at it quite a bit. But the thing is, I understand it, because that's the noise that happens on the outside. That's our guys can't really listen to. Listen, we go out here and we practice our ass off every day to be who we're going to be. And that's where my confidence lies, and what these guys do on the grass here, So, and listen, preseason means a lot. It do. But for the most part, man, we concentrate on what we do on the grass, because you get a ton of reps in that aspect.
So you heard from the man himself. It's not a pass-happy league anymore. Philadelphia Eagles proved it wrong last year. And that's the philosophy that the Jets are trying to do, is run that football and play defense. Jets Super Bowl champions incoming. Confirmed. Satire. Eagles were a run-heavy team last season, and how did that work for them? Exactly. And the Jets are trying to replicate that, which is why I started talking about the Jalen Hurts comparison versus Justin Fields. And the Jets are coming from the Lions schematically, offensively, but can you really look at the Lions as an offense and try to replicate that here when you have Justin Fields at quarterback? And they had Jared Goff, who's a completely different type of quarterback stylistically. We'll see, man. We'll see, man. This team is going to be built the right way. I got confidence in this, but I hope that, and I know this is going to piss people off about what I'm going to say here. If there's one word that Jets fans hate to hear, I'm about to say it. I'm going to piss some people off. I'm going to ruther some feathers here in this hotel, because I want to. I wonder if you guys know what word I'm about to say. If you're like, what's Richie about to say here? Because there is a word, and Jets fans hate this word. But it comes with a brand new regime that the New York Jets have. New coaching staff, new front office, new quarterback. You know what that means? Well, here it is. Patience. I said it. Patience is what Jets fans are going to need to have. Because if you do not have patience, you're going to lose yourself in the rebuild. And this is not a rebuild. I think this is more of a retool. And the patience that we're going to have as a fan base is this organization is going to be built not from the ground up, because luckily, and Aaron Glenn even said, he thanked the previous regime to bring in a lot of football players. There's talent on this roster, but let's all not lie to ourselves. We do not have a quarterback until we have a quarterback. Justin Fields has not proved anything yet. There's a world where the Jets go right into the draft this year and draft the quarterback, because Fields did not do anything. I want Fields to be the guy, but he has not proved anything yet to be the guy. But patience is going to be tested with this fan base. And the reason why I think Jets fans hate the word patience is because we've sucked for 40 years. Why would I be patient? I mean, that's true. We've been bad for so long, so why would we be patient for anything? So, but it's just unrealistic to expect this Jets team to go out there and win 11 games. It's just not realistic. It's possible. We've seen teams come out of absolutely nowhere with a first-year head coach just play well. But this team, and I've said this, I feel like I've been very redundant with this specific take that I have, is this season is going to get ugly before it gets pretty, bro. This team is going to be built on failure. It's going to be built on struggle. It's going to be built on looking bad so we can figure out what needs to get fixed. Because let's also keep in mind that this season is an evaluation year, in my opinion. Laying down the foundation. This whole coaching staff and front office is evaluating this roster, because I think next offseason is going to be all about, okay, who are our guys? Because there's some people on this team, I'm sure, that probably don't fit the mindset of this Jets football team. And they're going to be gone next offseason. They're going to prioritize the players they want. And you can go into a season expecting, yeah, this is our guy. But then when the season comes around and they start playing regular season football, the coaching staff and the front office is like, yeah, this guy does not fit the brand that we're trying to build here. And he's going to get traded in the offseason or cut, whatever the case may be. If he said playoffs, I would have cried. I said the opposite. I said the other P word. Imagine I'm like, playoffs. We're going to the playoffs. No. Patience is what it is. And this is what I mean. People hate the word patience because of this right here. They have been rebuilding since 1970. I'm not saying that's wrong, but patience is needed when you have a coach trying to build something the right way. Rome wasn't built overnight, that whole saying. I don't want to go over this whole reasons why we have to be patient, but I feel like if you give this coaching staff and this front office a few years, and then they find a quarterback, whether it is Fields or not, and they keep this offensive line, because if there's one thing you want to get delusional, Jets fans, let's get delusional real quick. If there's one thing that should get you fired up, not just for this season, but for the future of this Jets football team, it's the talent on offensive line. Because there is a world where we have a legit top 5 offensive line for years and years and years. Continuity. We have 2 tackles to be excited about long term. We have 2 guards. We have 2 centers competing. Like, the Jets offensive line is that good with that right there. Because if they didn't have that, if we were sitting at this offensive line and we had just trash, we had like 1 good player on the offensive line, the other 4 terrible, and we're like, all right, well, offensive line is not good. The fact that the Jets actually have real talent on the offensive line, that should get you excited. Not just for this season, but for the future. This is not an offensive line that's built just to win now. This is an offensive line to build for the long term. To watch Armand Membu develop into a rock-solid right tackle. To watch Olu Fashanu hopefully become one of the best pass-protecting left tackles in the NFL. Like, watch Elijah Vera Tucker be that dude that we drafted. Like, that's real. I don't think you need patience for that. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I think that the offensive line is something to definitely be excited about for your Jets fan this upcoming season. Folks, don't forget to hit the like button. We had some news come out this morning from Diana Rossini herself, breaking down the New York Jets being interested in trading for a new Jets receiver. We don't know who it is, but we'll see. I'm excited to watch this football team today at practice. Make sure you guys follow me on X. I will be giving you guys my play-by-play over there. Hopefully the weather holds up, so there's no issues on that front. But we'll see about that. But, hey, we've been live for over an hour talking all things Jets football. And I think that, being here in this hotel, it's been pretty cool. Keep Skinner and Clark on the roster. Dump the underachievers. You're talking about Dean Clark? Dean Clark has looked really good. Gabe Davis or DJ Chark would be great. Okay. We'll see, man. Patience, man. I can't believe I just had a patience speech with you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I had to do that to you guys. But I'm excited, man. I could watch an Aaron Glenn press conference all day. He fires me up, man. I ain't gonna lie. He fires me the hell up. So let's keep up that energy, man. What are we going to see from this football team this year, man? We're so close. Now, if you guys did not know, Friday night against the Eagles is going to be a lot of the backups. Barely any of the starters are playing, just so you guys are aware. Speaking of Quentin Skinner, this was the touchdown throw and catch that he had. Throw from Brady Cook and the touchdown he caught. The Jets just posted it. Pretty cool throw and catch. I saw this and was very impressed. Here it is. Brady Cook throw it on the run. Skinner touchdown. He looks good, dude. Look at him fired up. Running around. Now, Cook probably was sacked on this play, but in practice, they like to extend the play and try to make some moves and make some throws down the field. But Quentin Skinner, dude, yes, get him in a New Jersey number 100%, but he looks pretty good, man. He looks pretty good. Hopefully he make the team. But all right, folks, I'm going to wrap up the show here. Been live for over an hour talking all things Jets regarding the news. I will be back at practice today, and I just want to make sure you guys are aware today is the last day of Jets training camp. The last day of Jets training camp. What? The last day. Today's the final day. The last day. And then we got preseason ball this Friday night, and then we have 2 weeks off before real football begins. Bang. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Jets Media. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I appreciate you guys. As always, I'm going to be at practice today, so make sure you guys follow me over on X for the play-by-play. And, yeah, I'm going to try to make a video on YouTube before I hit the road back to Long Island. Hopefully the weather holds up. I don't know if the weather will hold up or not, but we'll see. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And the latest news is that Diana Rossini reported that the Jets are interested in a wide receiver. So that's definitely something that is going to be a topic for the next few weeks, because I don't think a trade is going to happen like today or tomorrow or even before this week. I think it'll happen more next week or the week after when roster cuts start happening. So stay tuned for the content. I will provide you everything you need to know. I'm actually about to go record my Bleacher Report video. So if you guys are not on Bleacher Report, go check out the Bleacher Report app. I make daily videos on there. That's quick 2-minute videos. That's all the things you need to know about the New York Jets. Go support me over there on Bleacher Report. I would appreciate that. I had someone recognize me at practice yesterday. They're like, hey, I know you. I see you online. And he didn't know where he knew me from. And then he's like showing me his phone. He's like, I don't know, man. I don't know where I see you. And then he said, like, I'm on this website, Bleacher Report. I was like, yeah. I'm the Jets guy in Bleacher Report. He's like, that's where I know you from. He had no idea who I was outside of that. I find it awesome how people see me all over different places. So check me out on Bleacher Report today, folks. I will see you over there. And then stay tuned for more content. Love you guys as always. I'm out. Let's go Jets. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. I'm out. Thanks for the love. Everybody have a great rest of your day as well. Peace.